Contributor Jane Newton-Small speaking with us a little earlier. Now, there are calls to expand the E-Safety Commissioner's remit amid soaring rates of anti-Semitism and Islamophobia online. Studies of hateful comments across 10 social media platforms have found a significant increase since October 7 and the war in Gaza.
The Australian research is already being used for international police training. Natalie Whiting has this special report.
Hundreds of posts spewing hate and lies. Tracking anti-Semitism and Islamophobia means diving into some of the worst parts of the internet.
It's rough. I think all of us who do the social media monitoring work, we all struggle with it from time to time.
There can be a personal risk for people involved, so we're not using this researcher's name. But she's part of a team going online for an hour at a time to record offensive content.
So having real people look at this means we see things that artificial intelligence won't. There's a lot of dog whistles that are used, coded language, things like that.
Firstly, thank you for all the work on getting the report where it is.
The Online Hate Prevention Institute has documented a significant rise in Islamophobia and anti-Semitism following October 7 and the war in Gaza.
Our work looked at 10 different social media platforms, and the increase it's at different levels, but it's up significantly on every single platform. It's the mainstream, it's the extremes, everything is just up.
Dr Andre Obler recently used the findings to run training for police from across the world, including Australia.
Looking at both anti-Jewish and anti-Muslim hate, identifying it, what are the common themes and ways it expresses itself, and looking at what the platforms are doing, where the gaps are, where law enforcement can currently step in, and where maybe we need to start thinking about new powers that may be needed.
The Institute's report into Islamophobia and racism against Palestinians and Arabs looked at data from October to February. It found 1,169 offensive items over 160 hours of searching. Researchers believe it represents an increase of at least 400%. An earlier report tracked anti-Semitism in the same way over the same period. It found 2,898 items, an increase of more than 530%. A third comparative report will be released in coming months.
What we see is first it starts online, then it moves into the real world.
Heshi Adelist has been voluntarily cleaning off anti-Semitic graffiti in Melbourne, including this call to kill Jewish people.
And we already have so much hate in this world already. If we would have said, kill Muslims or kill Christians, I would have gone out and cleaned it. It's more about the hate. But when it said kill the Jews, since, I am Jewish, it was a bit more personal.
He says anti-Semitism is taking a toll on people.
They're right now getting targeted because they're just Jewish, and that hurts a lot. People at work, even at the homes, being targeted online, and just because, they're Jewish.
We also got another case where there was some workplace discrimination.
Elsewhere in the city, Abdu Rafi Suwano has been offering emotional and legal support to victims of Islamophobia.
It's been extremely intense and horrible. It feels for our entire community that we've been going through a collective and unending trauma. And while we're crying for our brothers and sisters overseas, we're also seeing the direct impacts on the ground here.
He says it's important to be able to help.
I wouldn't say it feels good. I would say it feels necessary.
One recommendation is to increase the powers of Australia's E-Safety Commissioner. The online regulator can only address attacks on individuals, not groups of people.
But we need e-safety to be able to take down such content as well. So they need to be able to issue a notice. And they can't do that unless the government updates the legislation and actually gives them that power.
These are important fundamental questions around lawmaking. My understanding is the government, that's the very reason the government is conducting the online safety review.
Peter Carlile has just been appointed the government's special envoy for social cohesion.
People should be able to disagree peacefully on issues without resorting to the personal attack on someone based on their identity.
The Online Hate Prevention Institute is hoping to get funding to run its social media study again 1 year on to see if levels have fallen. In the interim, they're asking people to help fight back by reporting offensive posts to platforms when they see them. Natalie Whiting, ABC News.